It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. We're going to talk about things that sometimes get away from us and we don't complete them because we think that we got all of this, and I'm not even going to say it. Michelle is going to say it forever. And we don't. We're talking about time. We're talking about time. Sometimes we think we got all the time in the world, and we don't take advantage of that time that we have to complete certain things. But we don't have all the time in the world. Everything has a start and a finish date. Every project has a start time and a finish time. A day got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit on that today. But I got to bring in the executive producer and the co-host to the show. How you doing, Dr. Michelle Cooley?
I'm doing fine, James. How are you?
Wow. We kind of dressed alike.
I know.
I think you too far down in your seat, so they can't even
Here
see.
I am. Dream
Yeah.
big, think big, be big at everything you do.
Wow. I'm excited about this show today because a lot of people don't understand that we had to, take advantage of the time that we have, especially in a day, 24 hours a day, to make sure that make sure it's productive and that we complete assignments. And so we can prepare for the next day. So, how's your day going so far in Texas?
It's going great. I can't wait to talk about this topic today. I'm really excited.
Okay, let's, if, you know, whichever platform that you watching us on or listen to us on, was it E36 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and over 84 other platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of this great discussion that we're going to have, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching us on, go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Michelle, can you do the honors by introducing the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Well, actually, we're the guests today. So the title of today's show is Time. And just listen, time is your most precious asset. And we're going to talk about time being the only possession you own. Don't waste it. And how you plan to use your time, developing a plan of action. And basically, time will not stop for anybody. And, we decided on this topic based on Dr. James J.C. Cooley's book he wrote years ago, the pathway. What is the name of the book, James? You can say it.
It's
The
called The
pathway
Pathway to Enlightenment.
to enlightenment. Pathway to enlightenment. And that is one of the things that you were discussing in this booklet. And we haven't really deferred to this booklet in a very long time. We talked about your other best-selling books, but the pathway to enlightenment, we haven't really dug in deep in that. So it's a new day and we're going to talk about it. So time is your most precious asset. What does that really mean? I would say for me, when it says time is the most precious asset, is because, time will not stop for you. And every day, every second, every minute is a gift for you to do something meaningful you like with your life, whatever is giving back or whatever is meaningful to you. And people think that they have all the time in the world. But as we know, we hear stories, friends, colleagues, business, the news, where people's life for whatever reason is cut short. I'm a good I'm a proponent of planning. It's not good to make rash decisions. Oh, let's go here tomorrow. You got to plan. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about if you have the tools, if you have the resources, if you have the ideas in your head, if you have a plan, what are you waiting for? Time will not wait for you. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of regrets in this world, and a lot of people, when it's their time, they think, I wish I could have, should have done, but they thought they had more time. But there's a little bit more deepness into this topic. So I'm going to let James talk about what time is your precious asset, what that means to him.
Well, first of all, you bring up a lot of great points because we all get caught up in thinking that we have additional time to do certain things. And just like I mentioned in the intro, that there is a start and finish time for everything that we do. Getting up in the morning for work or whatever that you're going to do. You have to plan these things out unless you're not planning on doing anything productive, but just letting things pass by. So I believe that we have to be mindful of everything that we do. You just brought up a point where you talked about I should have, I could have, I would have if I had more time. Well, we don't know how much time that we have uh, on this earth. And I don't think that we should be sitting back and uh, being frustrated, like, oh, okay, it could be today, it could be tomorrow. I think we live life accordingly every day in the perspective where you want to do good, you want to help people, you want to bring love, compassion, happiness to everyone that you come in contact with, and that requires us initially with time, the precious time that we have, is to have discipline, be disciplined, self-discipline among ourselves on the type of person that we are, to about your character, uh, honesty, integrity, and ethics, if you choose to go that route, um, because that formulates your mindset, and that formulate the disciplinary where you plan things out. You plan things out. I mean, everything that you are going to do that day or that week or that month, um, it need to be planned out in a certain amount of time. We're going to talk about later goals, short-term goals,
Hmm.
long-term, mid-term goals, long-term goals. We're going to talk about all of those and how that fits into the picture or things. But first of all, Michelle, I believe that self-discipline, if you cannot plan your time uh, you- for what you're doing and what your thought process, you certainly can't help nobody else. Because people are always observing you. If I wouldn't say always observing you, if you want to sit over in the corner and not be seen or not be heard, and that's okay. But if you want to make a difference in one's life, time, time is so precious in how you use that. What are your thoughts on that, Michelle?
No, it definitely makes sense how you use your time. It is precious. And the next point I want to talk about is the biggest time wasters in people's lives. So we're not judging other people's what they do with their time, but I feel there's certain time wasters that really kind of deter you from what a purpose-driven life is for. Time wasters to me is gossiping. Time wasters to me is being in other people's business when their business has nothing to do with your life. Time wasters to me is doing something that is not good for your spirit, but you're doing it maybe say out of greed, or you just didn't put any thought into it. Time wasters to me is it's just being letting yourself be involved or preoccupied with things in life that have no value. What are your thoughts, James?
Well, procrastination
Hmm.
is one of the things we're going to talk about later, but a lot of people waste time because they are so involved in other people's business, like what you're saying, and that they don't have time to think about their own. And they talk about it, or at least in their own business, they tell everything to others. And my grandmama always told me, if you tell all your business, you ain't got no business. you know, you know. So, but uh, being involved, being talkative about everybody else. "Oh, did you see that person over there? Hmm. They need to do this. They need to do that. um,
Or being
that's
so
time.
preoccupied of what they own, what another person has, or what they own. What's that got to do with you?
Hold that thought, because that's something that's important when we come back, because we have lots and lots of people out there worrying about what other people own, and that. Tell you, whichever platform you're watching this on, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, Michelle kind of hit on something that many people, I don't know if they know that they are doing this, Michelle, but they get caught up in so many other people, business. They get caught up in, wow, you see that he got that much money, everything that person do, they get caught up in it. And like, hey, I don't know if you know, but that's a millionaire right there. I think that you're wasting your time when you're counting other people's money. When you're so involved in their lives unto my others, that you don't have time to develop your life or develop how you're going to make money or whatever that is. Because you hung up in other people and you live vicariously through other people, but it's not really benefiting you. And many people get caught up in that, Michelle.
Yes.
I gotta say, probably when I was younger, I probably was like that too, worrying about what other people are doing and not myself. But I can tell you, I had a vision one day. It's like, okay, you need to just stop worrying about what so and so and so and so is doing or how much they got. How much you got? I mean, if you ain't got nothing, how you gonna start getting something by worrying about what they got and living vicariously? And that's a bad word because living vicariously it could also be a good thing.
I don't think it's a good thing. I don't, because when something great happens to a colleague, a friend, family, whatever, I think that's great. I think that's great. And, if you talk about it amongst yourselves, that's perfect, give them their props. But when it becomes like you living vicariously through person, it's like, you can appreciate what someone else is doing with their life, with their goals, but their life is not your life. You gotta live for yourself. I mean, helping others too, but you gotta do what's your purpose and what your plan is, not living vicariously through somebody else. That to me is not a positive. I
Well,
say,
hold on. Let me explain this.
mhm.
Uh, Not call out his name. Herman Archibald, my great friend, my little brother. We was in the Navy, came up through the Navy together, um, and I decided to get out. He decided to stay in. Both of our goals were to make a '06 or flag. I'm talking about both, '06 and flag. I got out before I had that opportunity because things led me differently. But he was in, and every step of his career, I mean, he and I communicated, and I said, Arch, I'm not gonna make '06, but I'm gonna live vicariously through you, and even with flag officer, admiral, and all that other type of stuff. That's what I meant by it's good sometimes because you see how uh, he turned out. He continued to grind. I was there every step of the way, pushing him, and like, hey, you can do this. You can do this. Even though I wasn't doing it, I said, if you do this, I do it as well. So living vicariously, uh, sometimes it's not bad because you helping the other person or persons reach their goals through your how would you committed to them, to letting them know other truth, to letting them know that this, if I were you, this is what I would do. So
Yes.
from that perspective, I think that's a good perspective. But others that see people and they want to be like them, and so they they want to imitate them, and they're missing a whole lot of things, and time is just passing them by. They walk like the person, act like the person. Sometimes they pretend like they the person. So uh, that is not a good thing to do because I believe that we all have to create our own path and your pathway to enlightenment. What you talked about
Mm-hmm.
is you have to be able to walk down that path, the road, or whatever that insinuates, and create your own path through your experiences. And as time goes by, I mean, you living through that, you pull the good things, and that's how you can uh, your pathway to enlightenment. That's how you learn. I believe that's how you
Yes.
understand. That's how you able to encourage uh, yourself and others through your actions. And it takes time for all of those things. It takes time. So that's what I meant by that, Michelle.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? It's all about making a long-term plan with the time you have. Um, you've heard the expression coasting through life. It really means that you don't have a plan. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, enjoying life, working, if you're still working, enjoying retirement, family, friends is great. But you put on this earth to do so much more. So what is the plan? What is your long-term plan? What is your long-term plan where you want to live? Where's your long-term plan when you want to retire if you haven't already? What things are you looking at to get ready for that long-term plan? Let's say you want to retire in 10, 15 years, let's say. Where do you want to retire to? Do you want to stay where you at? Do you want to go to an area that's more cost efficient? Have you even visited that area? I'll give you a perfect example. There are plenty of people who retire, but they didn't put any thought to what they're going to do when they retire. So they're bored or they go back to work. So planning and doing the things to achieve those long-term goals is very essential with the time you have. Again, time is not, it's not going to stop for you. So, and I understand that certain things take certain times, takes a month, takes two, takes a year. Totally get that. But what are you doing to prepare for that? Are you no, wait a minute. Are you just coasting through life? Oh, one day we'll go there. One day we'll retire there. One day we'll do that. Well, one day you've been talking for the last 20 years. That day hasn't come yet. So what have you been doing? See my point?
I do, but let's go all the way back to the beginning of the show. The book that we are talking about is the Book of Knowledge, Your Pathway to Enlightenment. Now, you also crossed that with my other book, My Path. So it's two different things that I'm talking about in two separate books. Time is the key element of both of those books. My Path, the path that you own, your current situation, the path that you are on right now, is not your final destination. Therefore, if I believe when I wrote this, my path, you learn from the mistakes, you learn from falling down, you learn from not meeting time obligations, you learn from all you're supposed to learn from these things because initially, my path, which is time, big time about time, you find yourself, and just like Robert Frost, the road most traveled, road less traveled. I utilize him and I quote him in this. Sometimes when we are not certain about things that we are supposed to do or that we're going to do, we kind of get caught up on that path where it's just a straight line, wherever that path ends. If rather walk off the cliff, when it ends, you fall off the cliff. But there are things that I believe, if you're a believer like you and I are, Michelle, that God kind of leads us down a path with times, things that we probably should not be on that path, but a start time and a finish time. And time is so important when it comes to that, and it kind of confuses us when we come to the fork in the road, where we really don't know where to go. We can go to the left, to the right. You look down in front of you, you got a million steps ahead of you. That's the most traveled. Most people travel that one because they're familiar with that. And they don't have to put no effort, no thought process in it. You know, just Chattanooga, Tennessee is when I was born and raised. And in my opinion, there was no, you either grow up and you work for a certain company, I'm talking about 9 to 5. You might become middle class, like the lower portion of them, from the very lower portion. Like, well, he's gonna grow up, he's gonna be a foreman one day. So that's the path that you're on, and that's the path that you are stuck with. No, you're probably not going to veer to any other way. But sometimes, Michelle, we have to be able to have vision, that this is what I could do if I set my mind to. And with vision, you have to have understanding and you have to have focus. So time is an essence when we're doing anything. and we have to be cognizant of it because it's easy to be average and ordinary. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's time for a break, actually. It's break time for the show. We got to pay the bills, and we'll pick this up after the break.
So whichever platform that you're watching this on, you heard the boss. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. But also character. Character means a lot in anything you do as it relates to time. Here we go.
And I believe if you utilize these 4 C's in any organization and anything that you do, it creates this thing that I call character. Life is about character. Everything you do is about character. Character can be good and bad, but we want great character. So, as I close, I would like to thank Dale and Keith, the in and out program. I also like to present if you don't mind.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible. Integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are. Grow in faith. And build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today?
Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply today and be among the global leaders.
I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. And I kind of got caught up on the rabbit hole that time because My beautiful wife tried to combine two books. That's two different things, but each one of them is talking about time. Um, and this segment I want to talk about biggest time wasters. And now I know, Michelle, you talked about that a little bit earlier about people wasting time. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, have, all of this other type of stuff. But I believe the biggest time waster is procrastination. I kind of like how I said that. The biggest time waster is procrastination. Thinking that, I can just put this off. I can put this off until tomorrow. I can put it off to next week. I can put it off to next year. I can put up. If things that we have to do, we might want to consider doing them at your earliest convenience. I know certain things gets in our way at certain stages where we keep putting stuff off. Oh, I go to the doctor next month. I go to the month after that. I do all these things. When you know you got a problem and you're wasting that time, and all of a sudden, time has exceeded what should have been. Not saying that you did or nothing like that, but you procrastinated so long, the problem has gotten even worse and worse. Many of us do that, including myself. I have tried over the year to be better at that. So I procrastinate less because I know things have to be done, especially in my life, or things that I'm doing, chancellor, nonprofit, king, all that other type of stuff. You have to separate the time so that you are able to perform. I mean, what I'm trying to say, and be productive at each one of the jobs or whatever that is. And a big challenge of mine, and Michelle is probably going to talk about that. Sometimes when we know that we need to do something, I mentioned to you, like, go to the doctor, do this, do that, all that other time. We procrastinate. And then that creates a problem, because I believe that God tell us, and I'm not going to go through the 7 trumpets like I do in a lot of my speeches. But Michelle, procrastination, what are your thoughts on that?
I do believe that everyone procrastinates in a certain things in their life. For instance, health-wise, I don't procrastinate. When it's time for me to go to a doctor or a specialist, I make that appointment right away. I'm very diligent when it comes to my health, so I have no issues with that. Now, some people procrastinate in their health as far as following up with the doctor or specialist, et cetera, et cetera. People have different procrastination areas in their life, but health is not a procrastination for me. What do I procrastinate? Maybe follow up on certain things. And it depends. If it's something urgent, then yeah, you do need to follow up on that ASAP. But if something that can wait, maybe a week or so, you try to get it out the way. But I would say my biggest procrastination is maybe just doing certain things around the house. Because it's like you get home, it's like, oh gosh, this room's going to take a day and everything. I mean, you think about it like this, James. Okay, you work 5 days a week, right? Whether you're still in corporate America or not. Well, for me, I'm still in corporate America. I work 5 days a week. I'm on a computer. The last thing I want to do is,
Michelle, you work 7 days a week.
No, well, I'm talking about work, corporate. But the last thing I want to do is work some more. But things have to be done around the house. And I'm in the mindset right now. You know how people people don't do that to us, but sometimes you might have unexpected company. And then people rushing to get the house in order, everything like that. I make it more being mindful of having the house in order regardless, but there's not that much, there's only 24 hours in a day. So you got to think about when you're going to allocate that time to do certain things. And I know we're talking about procrastination. For instance, okay, so our time is our time. After work is our time, James. I don't want to work during our time, but sometimes there may be instances where you have that you need me to help you with certain things, or I need to get certain things out the way. But the majority, I don't like to bring work with me. When I am done, I am done. But as far as procrastination, and we're talking about time, what they say, never put off today, never put off tomorrow what you can do today. That's a true statement. It's really about what's important to you. It really is. It's about what is important to you. What is the rush? Some people are like, oh, what's the rush? Well, you got to pay your bill before they turn off the light, things like that. But that's not us. But we are mindful of things that are urgent that we do have to take care of. What are your thoughts?
Well, you're absolutely right about that. And we all procrastinate, just like I talked about in the beginning. But I believe that in my book, Country Boy, City Boy Journey, that ain't over yet, I talk about a plan on anything that we do in life. Now, you mentioned briefly about long-term plans. Long-term plans are great because that's a forecast of what you want to achieve outwards. But you have to keep in mind that there are midterm plans that must be achieved and short-term plans that certainly have to be achieved. If you will look at the bigger picture, as a corporate guy, for as I'm not now, I want to get away from that. But it was certain goals that had to be achieved through case in point, Lockheed Martin, all the companies that I work for, and being in a senior leadership position, you have a certain time frame. Long term, this is a 3-year project, and these are the things the end goals that have to be accomplished. These are the objectives that have to be met. These are the criteria that the objectives have to be met. So my point is this: all of that requires time. I started off saying there's a start and a finish date with any type of major goals that you have. You got a 3-year process. You cannot accomplish everything in the first month or two when you have a project that's 3 years. So a plan comes from initially, Michelle, you saw me writing books and stuff like that. And, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to write these books and certain things that come to my mind when we're asleep and I wake up 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning, like, wow. And I sneak away into the bathroom and write certain things down because I know when I lay back down, I'm going to forget everything. So a plan, when you're creating a plan, remember it's time frame. If you have thoughts and things that trigger that, you have to get up. You have to write it down. You have to write it down immediately. If you don't write it down, I'm going to tell you about me. I don't know about anybody else. When it comes to writing books, when it comes to doing this, something comes to you, regardless what time it is, you stop and you write that down because you're going to forget. So a first step of a plan is understand the timelines. I mentioned to you about a 3-year project. That means that 3 years is 3 years. But I mentioned to you about midterm. But let me go all the way back to the 3 year is a completion of that, and certain things have to be met. Initially, Michelle, timelines and plans and anything that we do, you understand the objective, you understand the big picture, you understand these. So the vision is the 3 year process and the goals, and like like an airplane, like designing an airplane, designing what it's supposed to do. That's a 3 year in my life. That was a 10 year process with Lockett. But there's certain things have to be met. So a plan, just like I mentioned, you have to write it down.
Oh, hold that thought. We got to take a break. We got to pay the bills. It's time.
I'm glad you did this because I had got excited about what we're doing. So we're going to take a station break. We're going to come back. We got about 10 minutes once we get back. But I want to talk about this plan. I want to talk about time. I want to talk about how precious it is. So if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the comments on whichever platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
At Viridian Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Viridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. That's ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm glad that Michelle went this route today because I get excited when we're talking about a plan. I get excited when there's an opportunity that we can reach out and teach folks on what we do in our life. I'm talking about what has made us, I wouldn't say extremely successful or anything like that, but everything that we do, it starts from a plan. Just like Michelle mentioned that you just don't just jump on and say, I'm going on vacation tomorrow and just, you ain't planning that. You got to pack. You got to buy your ticket. You,
Oh,
you
no,
have to
no,
do
wait. No, no, I'm gonna sell my house and I'm gonna put a for sale sign up. Well, what if the house sells in 1 week? Where are you gonna move? I'll figure it out when it comes to that time. It's like,
all,
okay.
all of those things totally important when you just like, I'm glad you mentioned that, Michelle, because like I was talking about a plan, long term, short term, um, midterm. Short term, in anything that we're doing, just like if you decide to go on a vacation, I hope that you give yourself more than 1 day, because it's going to require a planning. Now, depending on where you're going, if you're going on a vacation and it's right up the street, and whatever that is, that's fine if you don't have to plan for it. But if it's meaningful that you're going to do certain things, it requires a short term. You already know what the long term goal is to reach the vacation, whatever time frame. It doesn't have to be 3 years, doesn't have to be a month. It could be a week. It could be 3 days. But the short term planning is making sure that okay, we're going on a vacation in 4 days or a week. Um, we going here. We got to stay in a hotel. We have to have a flight. We have to do all these things. All of those things have to be done in the short term. I'm talking about like immediately. If it's that's what you're doing, So in the corporate world and any world, mostly when you're doing short term planning, which this is what I believe in. That's from 0 to 6 months max when it comes to certain things that way. Midterm planning, when you're doing, that means that certain goals have to be met on the short term. Certain goals. I bought the plane ticket, got the hotel. We know what we're gonna do. We got food, all this other type of stuff. So those are the short term things that have to be done to meet the midterm things. I got 2 more days before we go on a vacation. So all of these that check this, check this, check this. Make sure that the box is checked off. That you have planned properly, and that's how planning. That's how life is. You have to plan. You have to plan. Babies, marriage, and all of these things have to be planned out. If we just go flyby, is what I call it. Flyby means, oh, whatever happened, happened. Um, most of the time, you're not going to be productive. So short term, I just give you the timeline from a corporate perspective. That's 0, meaning the day, to 6 months. I mean,
Mhm.
short term. Vacation. You're going on vacation 5 days. That means today and tomorrow. You have to be able to tackle these things, check things out in order to meet the midterm goals, which means, okay, got my plane ticket. We got a place to stay. Uh, all of this other type of stuff. So
And
all of these things, Michelle, goes into what I call. I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
mm,
Long term, meaning that the plan that you've been planning for, long term was 5 days.
mhm.
I got everything already in place and do the checklist again, and we go from there. And now we ready to go on vacation. But what I'm trying to say, anything that you do in life as it relate to time, you have to have a plan. Long term is the ultimate goal. Midterm is getting up to the long term. Short term is making sure that you check off all of those things leading up to the other. What are your thoughts, Michelle? We got 2 minutes in the show.
Well, it's like, I'll give you a perfect example. We're going to Africa in February.
Yes.
Let's say, and you know, when we go on vacation, I make a list. I have a checklist, like check, pack, check, pack, check, pack. Now, when you're going international travel, it's you do have to look at a little bit more. What are the requirements for international travel? Is your passport? You'd be surprised how many people's passport has expired and they plan a vacation overseas. It's like, whether you need a visa or not, or whether you need shots. So we're preparing for that. And me and you are already planning what we're going to take. We don't want to overload our suitcases, but we already in the planning stages in our mind, what we're going to take, what we might not take, what we possibly might leave there, so it's all about planning. And so what if we got our passport, we have our passport and everything like that. Let's say the day of the trip, we haven't even taken the suitcases down. We haven't done a checklist. I'm like, okay, I guess we need this and this. And you're going to miss out on something. So that's just an example. But when it comes to time, don't waste time, because you don't know how much time you have left. That's the lesson. That's the lesson in life. It's not morbid, but you really don't know. You hear these stories all the time. All the time. Oh, me and my spouse were going to take a vacation. We were planning on going on a cruise. Oh, we've been planning this for years. Okay, you had the funds, but you've been procrastinating. Something happens and you're not able. Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today.
Wow. Procrastination, I told you that's big. But just like Dr. Michelle Cooley just said, and by the way, we're going to Africa in February. She will be crowned queen. We'll talk about that one in a later show. But you have to be prepared. A plan. I tell you what. Thank you, Dr. Michelle Cooley, for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. Thank you. I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners out there for tuning in to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always plan ahead. Time is so precious. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's Your Life. See you then.